The room that was never on the hotel map. A psychological horror mystery story. The first thing Michael noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful silence of a quiet hotel. Not the comforting silence that helps people sleep. This silence felt different, heavy, as if the building itself was listening. Michael Harper had spent nearly 10 years traveling across America as an architectural photographer. Luxury hotels, historic mansions, forgotten towns. Nothing surprised him anymore. Or at least, that's what he believed. It was nearly 11 o'clock at night when heavy rain forced him to leave the highway. His GPS showed only one nearby place to stay, Ashcroft Hotel. The building appeared out of nowhere, standing alone beside an empty road surrounded by pine trees. It wasn't abandoned. Lights glowed warmly behind every window. A faded neon sign flickered softly in the rain. Ashcroft Hotel. Michael parked his car. The parking lot was strangely empty. Only one old pickup truck stood near the entrance. He grabbed his backpack and hurried inside. The lobby looked beautiful. Old wooden floors, crystal chandeliers, a grandfather clock ticking quietly in one corner. Soft jazz music played from somewhere unseen. Behind the reception desk stood an elderly woman. She smiled before Michael even spoke. Long drive? Michael nodded. Very. We've been expecting you. Michael laughed politely. I don't think I made a reservation. The woman didn't answer. Instead, she reached beneath the desk, pulled out an old brass key. Room 214? She slid it across the counter. No paperwork? Michael asked. No identification. The woman simply smiled. You've already checked in. Michael frowned. I'm sorry? Again, no answer. Normally, that would have been enough for him to leave. But exhaustion makes people ignore strange things. He accepted the key, walked upstairs. The hallway stretched much farther than the building seemed capable of containing. Room numbers climbed slowly. 201, 203, 206, 210. Finally, he unlocked the door. Inside, everything looked perfect. Large bed, fireplace, vintage furniture. Rain tapped gently against the windows. It felt surprisingly comfortable. Michael showered, made coffee, downloaded the day's photographs. By midnight, he was finally ready to sleep. Then, he heard it. 3 slow knocks from inside the wall. Knock, knock, knock. He sat upright. Silence returned. Perhaps old pipes. Old buildings make strange noises. He turned off the bedside lamp, closed his eyes. Knock, knock, knock. This time, the sound came from behind the wardrobe. Michael switched on the light. Nothing. He opened the wardrobe. Empty. Only wooden hangers swinging gently, although he couldn't remember touching them. Trying to calm himself, he looked around the room again. That's when he noticed something impossible. The room no longer matched the photographs he had taken an hour earlier. The painting above the fireplace had changed. It now showed the hotel, standing in thick fog. Every window was dark, except one. Second floor, room 214. Someone stood behind the glass, watching. Michael stepped closer. The figure disappeared. He laughed nervously. It has to be exhaustion. He picked up his camera, opened the memory card. Every photograph taken inside the room had vanished. Every single one. Only one new image remained. A photograph he had never taken. It showed him, sleeping, taken from the corner of the room. Michael slowly lowered the camera. His hands began to shake. Someone had been inside. Someone was still inside. He searched every corner. Under the bed, inside the bathroom, behind every curtain. Nothing. No one. Yet, the feeling remained. He was no longer alone. Exactly at 1:13 a.m., the old telephone beside the bed rang. Once, twice, 3 times. Michael hesitated before answering. Only static. Then, a man's whisper. Don't open the closet. The line went dead. Michael stared at the wardrobe. His heartbeat quickened. Someone had just warned him. But, warned him from what? Or, from whom? He stepped backward, trying to ignore it, trying not to look. Then, the wardrobe door slowly opened by itself. Without a sound, darkness waited inside. And from somewhere deep within, someone quietly whispered, Michael. Michael stood frozen. The wardrobe door had opened by itself. Inside, nothing, only darkness. A darkness so deep that his flashlight seemed unable to reach the back. Then the whisper came again. "Michael." This time it sounded closer, almost as if someone were standing just beyond the hanging coats. His breathing became shallow. Slowly, very slowly, he stepped forward. The wooden floor creaked beneath his feet. Every instinct screamed at him to run. Instead, he reached inside. His fingers touched cold wood. Nothing else. He switched on his phone's flashlight. The beam swept across the wardrobe. Empty. Completely empty. No hidden door. No person. No movement. Michael exhaled. "I'm imagining things." He shut the wardrobe door. The moment it clicked shut, the lights went out. The entire room was swallowed by darkness. Outside, the rain stopped. Instantly. No thunder. No wind. Only silence. Then, the grandfather clock downstairs struck once, although Michael clearly remembered seeing midnight nearly an hour ago. 1, 2, 3. The clock continued. 4, 5, 6, 7. It finally stopped after 13 chimes. Michael frowned. There was no such time as 13 o'clock. Something was terribly wrong. He grabbed his backpack. "I'm leaving." He unlocked the room, pulled the handle. The door refused to open. He pulled harder. Nothing. Then, someone knocked. 3 slow knocks from the other side. Knock, knock, knock. Michael froze. A man's voice spoke quietly through the door. "Room service." His heart raced. "I didn't order anything." Silence. Then, the same voice replied, "I know." Michael looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. No one. Yet, the knocking started again. This time, from inside the room behind him. He spun around. Nothing. The room looked perfectly normal, except the old mirror above the fireplace. There was now someone standing behind him. A tall figure, wearing an old hotel uniform. Its face remained hidden beneath the shadow of a bellhop cap. Michael turned immediately. No one. He looked back at the mirror. The figure remained, standing perfectly still, watching. Then, it slowly lifted one hand, pointing toward the wall beside the bed. The reflection disappeared. Michael approached the wall carefully. The wallpaper looked ordinary, but one section sounded hollow. He knocked gently. Toc, toc, toc. Definitely hollow. Searching the edges, he discovered a tiny brass latch hidden beneath loose wallpaper. He pulled it. A narrow compartment opened. Inside lay an old leather notebook, covered in dust. Its first page read, "Guest register, private floor." Below it appeared dozens of handwritten names, each with a room number. Every room existed, except one, room 214. Beside every guest's name was a date. The entries stretched back nearly 80 years. But something chilled Michael even more. The final name, written only yesterday. Read, Michael Harper. Check-in, October 14th. Check-out, blank. His blood ran cold. Someone had written his name before he had arrived. He flipped through more pages. Most contained short notes. They hear the knocking. Do not answer the phone. Never look under the bed after 2:13. If room 214 disappears, don't follow it. The handwriting changed every few pages. Different guests, different decades, all describing the same room, the same sounds, the same fear. One final sentence had been written repeatedly, over and over and over again. The hotel grows one room every 7 years. Michael stared at the page. Then the room suddenly shook, not like an earthquake, more like something enormous had walked beneath the floor. The bedside lamp flickered. The wardrobe door slowly opened once again. This time, something stepped out. Not quickly, not dramatically. Just one polished black shoe. Then another. A man in an old-fashioned hotel manager's uniform emerged from the darkness. His clothes looked immaculate. His smile was warm. Too warm. Good evening, Mr. Harper. He adjusted his tie. I hope your room has been comfortable. Michael couldn't speak. The manager smiled wider. Would you like to see the rest of the hotel? He slowly raised an antique brass key. Unlike Michael's key, this one carried no room number, only one word engraved into the metal. Below. The manager whispered softly, You've only seen the rooms that exist. Would you like to visit the ones that don't?